Yo, what's going on, Raptors fans? It's your boy Demon. I'm back with another video today. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking more Raptors stuff today. So if you are new, hit that like button, hit the comment section, and hit the subscribe button. Because we're going to be releasing Raptors content almost every day. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are new to this channel. So, the last video I did on many things you didn't know about a Raptor did pretty solid. I think it went to about 50-60 views. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about a Raptors bench. The Raptors bench, does it have promise? Yes, it does, and I think it can do it really well. You have players like Malachi Flynn, you have players like Otto Porter, you have players like Precious Achiuwa, you have players like... So basically on the bench roundout, you have Malachi at the 1, you have basically Otto Porter at the 2, you have Chris Boucher at the 4, you have Saturday 7 to 5, and you maybe can play Precious Saturday 7 to 3 or 4. The bench is really good. I think relatively, if all the bench scorers can score about 10 to 20 points per night, or 15 at the most, you're having yourself a ball game. Because Malachi Flynn, you already know this guy's breaking on in the G League and the Pro Am crossover games this summer. This guy's been putting in the work. Rico Hines run. This guy's been pretty good. And he's really well the player. And he's pretty much showing himself he can get more playing time on the court as per Nick Nurse. As he's seeing him on the court, as I remember when he came and played in the Philadelphia 76ers series, he was playing a bit of good defense against Tyrese Maxey off the ball and containing him, and he played pretty much well, and then Nick Nurse took him off the court. Then you have players like Otto Porter Jr., who is basically a key player for that Golden State Warriors team, who got him about 5 to 10 points per game and shot about 40% from 3, and is the league's top 15 best 3-point shooter. So honestly, I'll sign Otto Porter Jr. up any time of the week. Then you have basically Thaddeus Young, just a good polished veteran. He can basically do everything for you. He can basically pass the ball. He's basically like a Marc Gasol when he was here in the Raptors when he won the 2019 championship. And he can get through anything on the floor. He can pass, play make. He can shoot the mid-range. He can drive a little bit. He can shoot the 3 to a decent rate. So I think Thaddeus Young is a pretty good ad. And then you have Chris Boucher just continuing his 6-man heroics as he basically got about 10 to 15 points per game on decent field goal shooting. As his 3-point shot was a bit lackluster this season, but I think he can improve on that. But he has many ways and things to do as a player, and he can finish the rim, he can pass, he can play make, he can play a bit of defense, and he's a good shot blocker due to his skinny frame and body type. So I think for a size 6'8" and 6'9" is pretty good. And then for Precious Achiuwa, what this guy's doing, he basically left off from where he's going to take off from where he left off last season. And I think his jump is going to be even more crazier. Yeah, Precious Achiuwa last season who made a Rising Stars game, he was almost MVP. He basically went off and just killed all guys among boys and just had a monster game for like the 2-3 games he played in the Rising Stars game. And after the All-Star break, this man just went back to like another player we never seen before. Like, he was shooting 40% from 3. He was making all 3 beyond the arc and the corners. And this guy was just basically going on a madness mission. He played against one of the best bigs in the NBA in Joel Embiid, and he played pretty well against Joel Embiid, as Nick Nurse said he did a pretty good job after him being 6'9" and going up against a like of a 7-footer in Joel Embiid, and he played pretty much well. And then, yeah, I think he played pretty much well. Like, he had very great potential to be a great player, and I think for this season, he's going to break out and probably be a most improved player and getting you about 10 to 15 points per game on the same 3-point shooting that we saw last season. So he's basically like another Serge Ibaka or another Miles Turner, as many teams are going to start looking into Miles Turner. So I think, honestly, Precious Achiuwa have a breakout season this season. So I spoke about Malachi Flynn, I spoke about Otto Porter, I spoke about Thaddeus Young, I spoke about Chris Boucher, I talked about Precious Achiuwa. Now let's talk about the reserves here. So where the reserves for the Raptors get very complicated because they have many great players out there, but I know there's about 20 players on the roster fighting for a roster spot, so let's break it down here. So you have your two-way players, and Jeff Dowtin and Ron Harper Jr. have 17 players on the list at your end of your bench. And I think Jeff Dowtin is a pretty good shot creator. I made like a little documentary on him on this second channel, so y'all can check that out here. I'll link it somewhere at the end of the video. And Jeff Dowtin pretty much played very well in the summer league. He got you about 15, 20 points a night on a good, decent 3-point shooting. And he passes the ball pretty well, and he can create his own shot, and he's basically at 6'3" for a normal point guard size. So Jeff Dowtin's pretty good. He can create his own shot. He can play defense a little bit, and he basically has basically a reasonable wingspan. So I think Jeff Dowtin can do many things for you on the floor. Though he played for many teams, like in the G League, he played for the Magic, he played for the Warriors, he played for the Bucks. He bounced around many teams around the league, but I think Jeff Dowtin can get it done for you 110%. And then he had the Ron Harper Jr. Summer League, I think he played pretty much okay. I didn't really see a lot of him in Summer League, but he played pretty much well, and basically for what he did for his time in high school, I know he played for the Buckeyes, and he played pretty well, so I think we have a good promise of an undrafted player. And he's the son of Ron Harper Jr., the NBA great for the Chicago Bulls when they won the championship back in the day. So I think he'll do a pretty good job. So out of camp back, you have Josh Jackson, you have Delano Banton, you have Juancho, and you have Justin Champagnie. So honestly, I'll talk about those 4 players here. First, talk about Justin Champagnie. Justin Champagnie's a really good player, because I remember when he was tossed in the game for Nick Nurse when he played really well. I remember that Mavericks game, he shot I think 1 or 2 corner threes, and he did really well. And he played very well against like the Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, and many other players on the court, and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Denny Finney-Smith. This guy basically was a dog. He was getting rebounds, he shot corner threes, and he was a secondary defender on Luka in that game, so he pretty much did a good job. And I think Justin Champagnie, I think he'll probably make a roster spot because he does many things. He's basically like a guard, but he can rebound basically. It's like having a rebounding guard in the court, but he can do many things. He can shoot threes, he can play his role, and just sit in the corner and just shoot the 3 ball to efficient rate. That's Justin Champagnie for you. But he played pretty much well on and off the ball. He played pretty much defense, and he's like a PJ Tucker on the court. So I think Justin Champagnie do pretty well and make a last roster spot. Delano Banton, I think he should do pretty well. Delano Banton, you saw, the only thing he has to work on is just his 3-point shooting, but everything else, his passing, his driving abilities, and finishing the rim he can work on. He's very much of a solid player, so I don't really have to talk about Delano Banton. You already know for his G League work, he's going to get put in the G League and then apply to the NBA. So I think Delano Banton could probably make a roster spot. Then you have Juancho, the GOAT of the Raptors, basically, or the Spain GOAT. This guy went off in the Spain game. He went off in the EuroLeague tournament. This guy pretty much did everything. He basically shot threes at a good 30% clip, and he played for teams like the Boston Celtics, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Utah Jazz. So he done pretty much of a great job, and the Denver Nuggets too. I think Juancho has a very good fit on this team if he makes a roster. I think they're on a guaranteed deal, but let me know in the comments. But I think Juancho can be a pretty good add for this Raptors team because he can shoot threes, he's 6'9", he can play a small forward position as a backup, and he's making it stretch the floor and play decent defense and be another secondary defender, basically. He's like Otto Porter, but I think he can make a roster spot. As for Juancho, what he did this summer is pretty much legendary. And then you have Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson's not a bad player. I remember back in the 2014 and 2015 draft when he got drafted, he was like a top 5 recruit and he got drafted by the Phoenix Suns, and he bounced around the league a little bit. He played for teams like the Suns, the Detroit Pistons, and he played for many other teams, but he bounced around the league. So I think as a Raptors, if he doesn't make a team, he can probably play in the G League and help him out for development and basically just get his game refreshed. And I think he can probably come back for the Raptors if he makes it this year, or he can basically just play in the G League and then come next year. But I think Josh Jackson is a pretty good asset team because he's looking for a home. I think the Raptors can do that. I think need pretty much more guard depth for players like Gary Trent Jr. and Fed Leeds. I think Josh Jackson could have a good chance of making a roster because Josh Jackson is a really great player and can do many things on the floor. And he basically, his lowest 3-point shot is a bit lackluster, can do many things by driving, just finishing, and playing good defense. So I think Josh Jackson might have a good chance to make the roster. And yeah, the Raptors bench is not that bad. As I'm at the 9-minute mark, it's not that bad. I think you have a good 5 or 10 man roster Nick Nurse can work with, and he can probably play the bench a bit more. But I think the Raptors have a good bench, and I think they can pretty much do it this season. And I think for the Raptors, they're last in bench scoring, and pretty much I think they fix their need and get another secondary score off their bench and get another secondary big, and like players like Juancho, and you already have players like Chris Boucher, Thaddeus Young, and Patrick Chua already play those roles. And you just need a guard now for their bench to get in. You can probably get Jordan Clarkson, maybe others. But I think the Raptors, they can do a pretty good job in getting a guard for the bench, and I think that should be pretty much it. Because honestly, the average stars, it can be 15 points a night. If you time it by 5, basically, like you times 15 times 5, let's just do the math here. So let's say you have 15 bench players. Let's say if they score about 10 points per game. Most of the stars, they score about 50% of their points, and they can have another 50% from the bench, whether that's either players like Otto that can give you 10 points per game, whether that's Chris Boucher can give you 10 points per game, whether that's Patrick can give you 10 points per game, whether that's Thaddeus Young giving you 10 points per game. That's basically 40 points there. And then even players like can give you another 5 points like Malachi Flynn or even Delano Banton. That's basically 50 points right there. So that's 100 points for a threshold. And you can have another player that can add on or score 15 points maybe that can get you about to 115 to 120 points per game. And I think you're in a good ballpark because honestly your bench scoring is pretty key to winning a championship. After the Raptors, when they had Norman Powell, they had a good 3 to 4 players getting 10 points per game off their bench. I think the Raptors can pretty much get it done for their bench load, and I think the Raptors will probably be a good top 15 bench scoring team in the league. And I don't think the bench should be an issue no more, as they have good bench players to back it up, as I already explained here. So if you are new, hit that like button, hit the comment section, hit the subscribe button. And your boy Demi, I just want to talk about the Raptors bench and talk more about their season and how they can go on. And I just want to give my thoughts and opinions for you guys on the Raptors this season, as the season's gonna start on Saturday. So this video might go up Saturday, it might go up Friday. I don't know when it'll go up, but I hope to get a video out ASAP. So if you are new, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment as your boy Demi. I'm trying to get more videos out of my face on because I know this channel there's not many face videos. There's more videos of me talking into this mic here. So I want to talk more in the cam with my mic here on my jacket. So if you are new, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and your boy Demi. I'm signing out. Have a good best day, all. Peace.